How was the day today?
Was pretty amazing. Had lovely demos around, was able to see a lot of different use cases, which, many of them I wasn't even aware about. Super. So, yeah, pretty good, exciting time there.
Okay. So can you just just in 30 seconds describe your company and the product proposition that or the value proposition that your company.
Sure. So, basically, I mean, we are all aware of voice AI, or about voice AI, right? So, we are a voice AI company and we do it over telephony. The main thing that we are trying to set us apart from the other providers here is the scale and adoption in India. So we could see a lot of gap in terms of the economics and the languages. So we are laser focused on getting the prices reduced. Right now we are offering it at around 1 rupee a minute for many use cases, and we offer it in all languages, all Indian.
Okay, is it flat 1 rupee per minute across all the use cases?
Correct. It's flat 1 rupee.
And how have you been able to reduce it? Say in the last 1 year,
Yeah.
what were those determining factors because of which you could reduce the.
Yeah, so we started, I think, around 2 years back in this voice industry, and when we started, we were definitely trying out all the providers that are available. We were using different APIs, L1 APIs, and everything. But eventually, we saw that these costly APIs are not the way to go, because when we tried to go out and sell it out in the market, it did not work well for many of our clients. So we had to rethink everything. We built our models from scratch. We had a work. So on top of this very lightweight orchestration layer, we had to build our own TTS model and ASR models, which are very high quality, and they work on very less resourceful machines also. So by that way, by creating our own models and redefining architecture, we are able to achieve.
And since you talked about models, I think one of the factors which determines the success of these models is the data availability and all that, right?
Correct.
So how did you overcome that problem in terms of
Okay.
access to data and continuously upgrading the data?
Yeah, so I'll tell you two parts to this. One is definitely if the data is not available, you won't be able to train anything. Thankfully, there are many open source data available out there. The only problem was the volume of this data, which how we solved it. It's not that we gathered magically a lot of data from here and there. Definitely, we have our own pipelines also. We were running our use cases and we were gathering some data from here and there, but that's not sufficient enough to train any good models. So we actually have worked on some architectures which are not that data hungry. The way they learn very fast and they learn with very low resource as well. So that's the breakthrough that enabled us to.
I'm sure it will be a continuously updating model, right?
Definitely.
From newer sources where there are blind spots you can.
Yeah.
So that I'm sure that will be the possibility as well, that what you look for.
Yes. So more to it. So definitely about the data which is being available. Let's say tomorrow more people give us access to more data. Definitely we can add that to the pipeline. On the side note, we are also working on generating good quality data for our AI. We are getting voice actors. We are getting telephonic calls from here and there to understand what different conversations are happening. So, and even we are also exploring the side of generating synthetic data.
Okay.
So, which can, help us feed our models more and give us more.
Brilliant. And when you look at when you are trying to talk to your customers and get the required outcomes, which are the key determining factors for them in terms of is it your models, is it the volume of the data, is it about cost, quality, or anything else, technology complexity,
Yeah.
the fuse? What are those 2-3
Yeah,
top things?
yeah. So I'll tell you, see, I'll give you a brief about my background also. So it's not that voice as what we started with. We were a agency, let's say. We were giving out AI projects. We were doing AI projects. We were doing MLOps projects and many different development use cases we were doing. So we already have a good understanding of how to get the requirements out from a client. We try to get to the pain points and see what the issue is, and what we have noticed is it's not like a one fit all solution. You cannot just give AI to someone and they can just plug and play and work around it. So one factor being cost, definitely, on the basis of cost a lot of people decide, so that's one factor. But the other factor, support. So we actively try our best to help that company adopt our solution, no matter how far we have to, extend our services to make that enable. It could be even making simple services for them on, setting their end-to-end workflows or whatever is the blocker which they are having and they are not able to adopt our AI. So we try to minimize that, and that's the kind of support and integration we try to include in our subscription only. So we ask for volume commitment from their behalf.
Based on that price, you can.
Based on their price, we give them the minutes also, and on top of that, we give them support and integrations, all that included, so that they don't have to think so much about. Yeah.
One last question. I think as Xstep, we have been able to get this event together.
Yeah.
Getting all the ecosystem. Any inputs for us to make this better, or what do you think? How can it be enhanced? The whole thing can be enhanced as well.
Okay, so
An ecosystem.
yeah, definitely. So I think already Xstep is doing a wonderful job, at least bringing things together. Someone is doing it finally, right? Otherwise, everyone is out there wild in the market,
Somebody needs to champion the cause. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's a great initiative, having events like this is pretty amazing. I mean, if we can have something like this weekly, I would love to participate and, just keep connecting with people. So that's pretty great. In terms of, I think a few points were picked up during the English also regarding the data, how we can
Consent and all that kind of stuff.
data consent, and more like we believe that there's a lot of data already stats somewhere, in these different government bodies and the call centers that are happening, and also if somewhat, because I'm pretty sure that's not being helpful to anyone. So if that can be exposed somehow, made available to the community, and on top of that, the AI for Bharat initiative and giving everyone chance to contribute and make it a community driven effort, that I think it's pretty much approved. Really good work that you guys are doing.
Nice talking to you, and all the best for even more getting the cost even more lower and getting the
We'll try to do that.
Thanks a lot.